Hi everybody, it's Kim and Jennifer from Fleece and Harmony. Welcome to our podcast, episode number 21, that you'll be watching on September 13th if you're watching it right away. Friday the 13th, yay. So here we are after Hurricane Dorian. So wow, do we have a weather report for you guys? So we're going to talk about that. We had lots of questions and lots of people messaging us, so we're going to tell you all about it. This is our regular podcast from our Fleece and Harmony Woolen Mill. Did I say Belfast PEI?
I don't know.
I'm not
Belfast
sure.
PEI.
In Belfast PEI. And we are going to do all the regular things. We have works in progress, knitting. We're going to talk about knitting. We're going to talk about the farm. The farm update and the weather update are the same thing this time because of that nasty Hurricane Dorian. Mm-hmm. And before we get started with that, we're just going to say thank you for everybody that's liked us, thumbs up, and subscribe to our podcast. And if you're enjoying our podcast, then we encourage you to subscribe if you haven't already. There'll be a button at the end of this, or you can, down in the show notes, you can subscribe as well. And I guess we'll just get right to Hurricane Dorian.
Yeah.
So for people that haven't heard, there was a hurricane last weekend, and I'm just going to preface everything that I'm about to say is everybody's fine. We're pretty thankful we came out of the whole thing relatively unscathed. It was pretty scary and pretty bad, and not everybody here. There was quite a lot of damage done to quite a lot of places and people, our friends and things like that. But none of it compares to what's happened in the Bahamas. So, we're going to tell you all about it, but we're not looking for sympathy if you want, because we feel
Although we did appreciate everybody's well wishes.
Yes, exactly. But I don't want to minimize what's happened to in the Bahamas, because they were really, really devastated. So we had a direct hit from the hurricane, but not at the strength that I think that in the Bahamas it was actually a Category 5 hurricane, which is just flattens everything. A nightmare. Yeah. It did reach Category 2 in isolated areas here, but what we experienced was a Category 1, so not at the degree of the Bahamas. Kind of just devastating in some ways as well, but not to the degree that they've had. So people asked us about how do we prepare. Well, we're from the coast of the Atlantic Ocean. We're used to getting hurricane weather.
Every year we get.
Yeah. We're on the track for hurricanes. So it's not like we don't know what we're doing when it comes to bad weather or bad storms. But I have to say that this was really something.
It was frightening.
Yeah, frightening. We had made jokes about the Weather Network at the last in the last podcast, calling it a cyclone. Yeah, a cyclone, which it's not a cyclone, it's a hurricane. But it really was nothing to joke about by the time it got here. And so what happens is the hurricanes are usually born somewhere down in the southern Atlantic Ocean. And the warm water, when they're over the ocean in the warm water, that feeds the hurricane. So that's why the Caribbean islands get hit so hard, because it gathers momentum with that warm weather. What usually happens is it tracks towards land. So it hits land somewhere in the U.S. usually. Then as it's over land, it starts to lose strength. So by the time it gets all the way up the coast to us, it's usually been downgraded to a tropical storm or high winds.
Tropical storm or wind and rain.
Yeah.
Warning.
Rarely does it make it all the way to us and still be an active hurricane. But Dorian made it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we could watch the track as it was going up. So it lost a little bit of steam in part of the U.S., just as it always does. Then when it hit Halifax, which it took it about 8 hours or 6 hours or something like that, between the way that it was tracking, between Halifax being hit before we started to see the effects, we heard that it was upgraded to a Category 2. So we were like, uh-oh.
That's weird.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
That's not what we were thinking.
Yeah, that wasn't very good. So anyway, we do prepare for big storms. So but now we were like, okay, so now it's going to be probably a real hurricane with some strength that we're not used to. So what do? We are always worried about the animals, of course, and we had a bad winter storm 2 years ago. Where our main barn, the roof had actually started to come off, and the guys had to go out in the middle of the storm and try to put the roof back on. They end up using like big stakes,
fencing nails, like the big bolt. They're not bolts. I don't know what you call them.
Yeah, pikes almost.
Yeah,
like they were
fencing spikes.
Yeah. So that was not going to happen.
They're 6 inches long.
Yeah, that was not going to happen in the middle of a hurricane.
No, not safe.
Yeah. So we actually did a bit of research about down in the eastern United States where they do often get categorized hurricanes. So what do they say about farm animals? And without exception, in every state, I went all the way down the northeastern United States, down as far as Texas, and onto their departments of agriculture websites, and without exception they said that you should leave your animals outside. Sounds counterintuitive unless you've seen a barn blow down, or what it looks
on
like.
top of your animals.
Yeah, on top of your animals. Or they were talking about possible lightning strikes as well, and that can cause fires, and that's really not great if that happens. So we took the decision to leave the animals out, which is completely ironic, sort of, to us, because we've had them in the barn in other storms, but in the worst storm that we've experienced since we've been farmers, we were going to leave them outside.
Right. But the worse it is, the more you should leave them outside, because in a building is not safe, and they can't fend for themselves. They can't unlock the door and just run out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So there were, the sites did say there were criteria about the kind of pastures that you have them in that make it safe for them to be outside. So they have to have access to some kind of shelter, and you need to understand how the water flows over your property in case there's flooding, so that you have them somewhere safe. And they need a lot of space, so that if they have to move, the flock needs to move, that they have room to move around to get out of the way of danger if trees start blowing down and so forth. So we have pastures that meet that criteria. So we decided to leave them out. I'm just going to say everybody's fine. So it was the right decision. So people are going to be, surprised that that's what you do, but that's what we did, and everybody was fine. And we don't have small lambs. We have young lambs though, so we weren't really sure what was going to happen. And the weather, it wasn't going to get cold. So it was,
the temperature could make a big difference too.
Yeah, if it was going to be like close to freezing and windy and wet, then that would have been a different
really
decision.
In a bind with sheep.
Yeah, that would be a different decision. So so we watched the track of the storm, and it was coming, and our power went out at 4:30 on the Saturday. So that was it. We headed into the house, and the wind started whipping around. The branches started coming off the trees. The rain was sideways. It was getting pretty crazy. And we have some pretty big old trees around our old house. And we were in there in the dark. We have generators. We've got 2 generators. And we did take the precaution when we first moved here to have the water pump, because we have a well, to have the water pump wired so that it could be plugged into the generator. So because the big concern is if the power goes out, how do you get water to your animals? And so we have that covered. We also made sure that we had enough hay in the barns under cover so that we could be able to feed the animals and so forth. Because as you know, we had no grass left because we've talked about that. So we did all that preparation, and then you just had to wait.
And human food.
Yes.
Because the grocery stores were empty, and we're on an island, and the ferry doesn't run, and the bridge is closed.
Yes.
So you can't get supplies. Like, I think probably because we're a province in Canada, even before I moved here, you wouldn't realize, like, no,
It's an island.
If we run out of groceries in a storm, there's no more coming.
Yeah.
We don't actually make the bread here.
Yeah.
Everything's trucked in.
Yeah. And, the bridge closes from time to time with high winds. Yeah. So for sure it was going to be closed. And for sure the ferry wasn't going to be running. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no.
Yeah. So then we waited and it got worse and worse. And Ken and I actually had the discussion in our living room about where should we sleep, because we were worried that it was much more calm and quiet in the living room because that's on the ground floor. And if you went upstairs, it was like you were in a ship. It was shaking and everything. So we were discussing whether we should sleep downstairs, but then we were like, well, if we sleep downstairs and the roof blows off the house and the house collapses, then we've got the second floor and the attic going to fall on top of us. Literally, we did have this discussion. And so we decided to go upstairs to the bedroom, but it was really scary because it was loud. The wind was loud and the house was shaking.
And your windows whistle. It's very disconcerting.
Yes. So I don't know if you were sleeping at your place.
A little bit, off and on.
Yeah, I did manage to fall asleep.
And I had two dogs stuck to me like glue because it was
our dog was
for them too.
Our dog was really nervous. The cat was completely oblivious. He wasn't disturbed at all by the whole thing. So then I woke up at midnight. You did too.
Yeah.
Because there was not a sound.
It just got deadly quiet. It's the eye of the storm.
Yeah, just totally quiet and creepy.
Eerie.
Kind of.
Well, to go from that to just dead calm. Yeah, and then we were able to put the animals out to pee because I had just put cardboard all over my living room floor because, first of all, Hannah, the big brave Irish wolfhound, wouldn't even go out, period, from 5 o'clock on. She thought that was nonsense. And I wasn't going to put my little 18-pound schnoodle out there. I was afraid she would blow away.
Well, things were going past your window so fast that you couldn't even tell
see what it was. You're like, was that a bird? What was that? It's very fast wind. So I figured, well, we'll just let them go in the house. And then it said somewhere, like, if you try to open your door, it could get ripped out of your hand and blown off. So I just had everything sealed and bolted and wanted to leave it like that. But then conveniently at midnight, it all came to a dead stop.
Yeah.
It was just completely calm. So I was like, great, we'll put everybody out.
Yeah.
And brought them back in. And we kind of hoped by some miracle that somehow like that had been it, but I think we knew that it's just the eye of the storm going over, and then it started up again. Yeah,
and if anybody is watching that's not familiar with the way hurricanes work, you've seen the spiral with the eye and everything. So what happens is the wind is all blowing in one direction on one side of the eye, and then when the eye passes over, you're on the other side. The other side of the hurricane is over you, and the wind changes to the exact opposite direction. So everything was blowing away from the house, and then the eye passed over and everything blew towards the house.
Yeah, and the way buildings work, like, just because it didn't blow down in one direction doesn't mean it's not going to in the other. Like, there are weaknesses in structures and everything, every tree was blown this way and then it's blown the other way, like it just, so just start all over again.
Yeah, and it was worse.
Yeah.
It was stronger. The wind was a lot stronger, I think, on the other side.
Seemed like it.
Yeah. So it was pretty nerve-wracking. So you had, 48 hours of anxiety anticipating it. You were in your bed with your blankets like this during, and then the second part happened, and then you have to wake up in the morning and you have to go and check and see what the damage was.
And we always have anxiety for our animals out in any kind of weather. Way less than that we worry, and it's difficult managing rain and cold temperatures, which we get a lot around here. So we always have that. That's always like our main concern because they're out or they're in a building sometimes and you have to worry about all that. But I've never felt fear for myself before, but this time we did. This time I really was just waiting for the roof to come off.
Yeah.
I'm thinking you're just kind of sitting there not really sleeping thinking, so I'll grab the dogs, and I guess we get in the car, but I'm not supposed to open the door, but I guess if the house is already blown down, I won't worry about that. You know, like you just don't really know. You've never had to evacuate before or anything.
Yeah.
So it would be pretty tricky getting the dogs in the car.
Yeah.
And all that organized, you know, like it's crazy. I mean, that's why you evacuate in advance if it's a really bad one.
Yeah, exactly. So the next morning, my heart was literally in my throat thinking, what are we going to see? And everybody was fine.
Yeah, a few lambs blew down into the horse pasture. I don't know if they fell asleep and rolled under the wire.
We have a lamb that has figured out how to get out of the fences. He's got horns. I think we talked about him before. Yeah. He's got horns. So I'm sure he was the instigator.
No, he wasn't down there. It was 5 other randoms.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, my horse Miles, I don't know. He must have had some kind of training before I got cattle penning because he likes to round things up.
Yeah, so he was rounding those poor lambs up for God knows how long when I finally went down and rescued them. Give it a break, Miles.
Yeah. Back to the sheep.
You don't have to ask him to do it. He freelances.
Yeah. Anyway, everybody was fine. We were very thankful, but we had no power. So we had our generators going, and we just ran them intermittently, and had made sure everybody had water. We had water, and plugged in the fridges so that we didn't lose anything. So we were really lucky. And then the power was on in about 25 hours or something like that. So we've survived much longer actually here. So with much smaller wind gusts, I don't know. So anyway, we were really lucky. But we still have friends that don't have power. We have friends that actually had barns blow down. No animals were hurt, thank goodness, but their barns did blow down. And we actually have a friend whose house, I guess she doesn't have a dug basement, but she had a huge tree blow down in her yard, and the roots had grown under her kitchen, and it came up through her kitchen floor. Mm-hmm. So she was like, the tree blew away from the house. Yay. Oh, okay. That took my kitchen with it anyway.
Yeah, the root ball took out her kitchen floor.
Yeah. So there was quite a lot of damage some places. Trees down. There's parts of the national park in Cavendish that they estimate that 80% of the trees are gone. There were people that were still camping. There was a campground.
In trailers.
Yeah, in trailers.
Okay. You were out there in a tent. You really were paying attention.
They had to be rescued because it actually moved the trailers. Yeah. They collided into each other.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
Gosh, so poor people here on vacation. That's the first thing I ask when they come in. Are you on vacation? Yes. Were you here last Saturday?
Yeah.
Not good.
Yeah. So, and cottages and stuff. And the temperature dropped. Like it did drop. You had your wood stove going.
Yeah. It was cool.
So, it was a little bit chilly. So people that were in cottages, they usually don't have heat here because it's mostly summer. They're not four season. So anyway, thankful that we had a few trees down over fences, but we have tensile wire fences, so they stretch quite easily. And once the trees were removed, they snapped back up. So not really, no permanent damage for sure. A couple shingles off of some outbuildings. Mm-hmm. But I can't believe that old shed. We have a really old, decrepit shed that is literally held. The two walls are held together with a chain running through the middle of it. Not our repair.
Right, it was fine.
Yeah, and they were fine, but it was really scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not. We don't want to experience that again.
No, if there was anything stronger, I'd be really nervous.
Yeah.
Really nervous.
Yeah, and you don't understand the whole ripple effect of the whole thing as well. So, we were, really thankful that we didn't have any damage, but there's a young farmer that we know that does some contract work for us, and he was telling, like, the corn harvest hasn't happened yet, but they're within a week or two of harvesting their corn. Cornfields were flattened, as you can imagine. And he's a farmer as well, beef farmer. He doesn't have, he had his own crops, which he said made out all right. He said, but I had, his business is contract work, and he had contracts to harvest corn.
There's no corn.
There's no corn to harvest. So he's, even though he didn't have a lot of damage himself, he's going to feel the brunt of this because his business is going to be affected by it for sure. So
yeah, and if you don't have power, you can't run your business. So a lot of people lost, of course, productivity there.
Yeah. So anyway, it was bad, but
well,
thankfully
it wasn't fun.
It wasn't fun. That's for sure.
Yeah,
it wasn't fun. But everybody's okay, and we hope we don't have another one come anytime soon.
If it's going to get worse than that, I don't want to, I'll just go down to the basement, I guess. Yeah. I can't handle it any stronger wind than that listening to it.
Yeah.
We need a root cellar or something.
Well, we kind of have a stone cellar. I don't think it's going to blow, and hopefully the house will blow off the foundation.
Who knows?
I don't know. Anyway, so that's it. The weather update and the farm update are all the same. So thank you for everybody for asking how we were. There's your whole long explanation of what the preparation and everything was. And so now we'll just move on to knitting.
Yeah. FOs.
None.
Which is shocking, I'm sure.
Can I do the front of my
job?
No. Okay.
And I should have got that hat done, but honestly, we're completely thrown off. Yeah. And we have kind of a hurricane hangover, and it's been all weird.
After the spinning hangover from the last
hurricane hangover.
Now we have the hurricane.
It's a lot of adrenaline.
Yeah.
And it's shocking how long it takes you to recover from that, and then the odd bad sleep thrown in there just in general because you live with dogs or whatever, and we're still pretty tired. We probably look tired. It probably looks very dark in here too because we're doing this at night.
Yeah.
So we're having lighting
decided
challenges.
no more episodes filmed during time when we're open, because for sure that would mean everybody is going to come.
Yeah. All right. So FOs.
So
none. WIPS.
Jennifer hasn't had her supper yet.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I'm
still working on my birds of a feather, which I hate a skimpy shawl. I've said this many times. This is not the case with this. I'm on section 8, and I think it goes to section 13 or something like that. It's going
to be really nice.
It's going to be.
I wonder if anyone else has finished theirs yet. Oh, sorry. I'll just pull on that a little harder.
Yeah, oh dear. Okay, hopefully I don't have my glasses on, so hopefully I've got that all right.
It's not even close, but you can fix it later.
Okay, so, sorry, my ball of yarn. So somebody was asking me about what the yarn is. So it's Rowan Kidsilk Haze in the mohair part, and this is Petals, and it's the yarn, the special yarn that we did for episode 18, which is now sold out, so sorry about that. It's the cashmere wool blend that I'm using, and we had a limited edition of that. So it's just gorgeous. I think maybe we should do this color in another base maybe at some point. Sure. It's just beautiful.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's coming along. I'm doing it at knit night. So, knit night, you do a couple rows and then rip them out the next morning because you found a mistake. Not in the garter, but in the lace, which is what I don't know what I was thinking, trying to attempt the lace section, even though it's only feather and fan. Anyway, something went wrong. So that's that. 5 more sections to go. After this section, I'm not adding any more stitches at least. So it'll go. But I can knit this yarn really quickly. It's my eyesight.
Oh,
you need bright light,
and
and it's very thin, so you're making sure that you've got your needle in the thing. Anyway, so that's that. It's a quick one.
That's birds of a feather.
Yeah, no resemblance to other pieces of clothing anymore other than a shawl.
Right,
it's just great. It's beautiful. You like to touch it.
It'd be very cozy, wrapped up with a nice
pin. I actually even was said to Jennifer this morning is that I'm thinking about putting stoppers on the end of my thing and putting it around my neck and just pretending it's done.
To do the work.
Yeah. So
don't get to celebrate and wear until you're
all
finished.
Right. So, and this is the front of my Joe Bat's arm, which is done now and blocked, blocked and it met the schematic measurement. So everything seems to be going fine. You can see that the shaping is quite pronounced because, as you recall, I went up a needle size across the bust and it blocked out to be the exact measurement that I wanted. I'm a little bit concerned that my row gauge was off a little bit. So I'll have to deal with that when I get to the color work bands. It's blocked to pretty close to the right measurement, but as you recall from the picture of the Joe Bat's arm, it's got that color work that you work in the round and then steek, so it cut. Anyway, that's an adventure for another day. I think it's going to be, I'm doing the back now, so we're getting close. The sleeves are done, of course, because you start with the sleeves. Those done
first, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it is.
It is nice.
Yeah. So that's that, Joe Bat's arm.
Okay. So I went totally off track with my WIPS. You'll be shocked what I've done and not done. So I did, this is the funny thing. So this Jennifer Woodhouse knits pattern, which I purposely went on to see how to pronounce Ahava, and I found this helpful video that said Ahava, and it's actually Ahava, which is what I would have said in the first place, but because it's a Hebrew word, I wanted to look, and I went and listened to the thing, and it misled me. Google. Yeah. Literally, if you Google like how to pronounce Ahava, you get a lovely computer-generated thing that says Ahava.
Oh, yeah.
Which, anyway, it's Ahava,
okay,
which means love.
Yes.
But I actually think it has a much deeper sort of meaning, like a lot of languages doesn't translate exactly.
Oh, okay.
Like I think it's a certain type of love. It's a very meaningful word in that language. Anyway, so that's lovely. So I did finish it and I blocked it and my swatch was good.
Yeah.
It
you
fits.
Were really worried.
It's wonderful. I was really worried. I thought it would be too small, but I did make a mistake.
Oh.
So remember last time I was saying, yeah, I want to make the medium and I did this to get the medium, blah, blah, blah. And I always do the shoulders bigger.
Yeah.
I didn't do the shoulders bigger. I did the medium all the way through. So I need large. I need large shoulders. If I'm going to have a medium body, I need large shoulders. If I'm going to have a small body, I need medium shoulders. Okay. The farmer shoulders. We talked about this.
Yes.
I even said on the thing, I need to do one side. I forgot. I didn't do large shoulders. So my swatch was good. My medium body is great, but this is too small for my big farm arms.
Yeah.
A little bit. I can get it on, but I'm going to do something here, some kind of little insert maneuver and just widen these up a bit, and then I'm going to pick up the large number of stitches and then continue on the sleeve.
How many stitches between the medium and the large?
I don't know, probably 4 or something like that. Yeah, it won't be anything.
I think I have I think I have an idea.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about it when we actually pull it off.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a little bit under my armpit too much. Like, that's so stupid.
Yeah, I think some of my mohair is on your ranunculus.
So yeah, so that was really... I didn't even do what I said I do, which is always do a size larger in the shoulders. I got this all sorted out with my gauge swatch, the medium. Yeah. But I forgot to do extra raglan increases for my giant farm arms.
But it'll be fixable.
But
you did lovely. A really good job blocking.
Yeah, of course I did.
Yeah, we're big on the blocking.
You can see the hearts and so I'm really, really happy with it. But unfortunately now I need to do a little remedial work on my sizing, and I just couldn't face that with a hurricane coming. And so that's why that's like that.
It was really, we talk about this all the time about, wash and block your swatch, measure, and then trust your swatch. But you were pretty nervous, eh?
Yeah.
Before you blocked it.
Well, I would have been more nervous if I hadn't run into the same problem with that yarn before, where it just looks tiny, but it's not.
Yeah.
And before I forget, I actually finished this again. So the reason I'm wearing it again is because I actually did end up ripping out the band and trying to use the whole ball.
Oh, okay.
Like right down to the end. So I actually took my band out. I lengthened it slightly, but I still didn't use the whole ball. Oh. So there's lots, if you're making the regular size ranunculus in our Eldon lace, there's lots of yarn, because I still had another, 80 yards left.
Oh, yeah?
I could have done another couple centimeters. I don't need it.
Yeah.
So it's fine, but definitely it's one ball of Eldon, because I couldn't use the whole thing for trying.
What a great project, eh?
Yeah, I just love it. Yeah. I wore it out. Rachel from Knit Night, our famous baker Rachel, and I went to a tea leaf reading seminar, and it was so embarrassing because everybody was supposed to be there tea leaf reading, and they were so enthralled by my sweater. if I may say. It was like, please, stop. And then some of them came to the shop the next day, even though they were leaving the island in a couple days. They drove all the way over here from Brackley, which is like the North Shore, and we're in the southeast.
Yeah.
And they just couldn't believe it. So I'm really proud of it.
What couldn't they believe that
it was
handmade?
They just thought it was gorgeous. It's the Swarovskis.
Yeah.
And the color.
Yes. Yeah.
Because the pattern is, ranunculus, very common. I mean, it's been a popular pattern.
Right.
So
they
literally took pictures of it. I was like, okay. Anyway, and I do love it. I'm going to wear this a ton. Yeah. Like, this is not going in the shop. No. I love it. It's just such a lovely modern design. You can wear it with anything. And the color is, of course, great. And I love my sparklies.
We know how to milk an FO.
Well, I redid it. Time. I would have done other stuff. I knitted an extra 2 centimeters or 3 in here, and then had to redo the whole band, and it's twisted rib. Oh, God, I think there's a mistake right there. Oh. Anyway, okay. Never mind. Look away. Nothing to see. No. So to make a long story short, I did like 3 stitches on the ribbing of my Owlette hat. Can you believe I don't have this hat done?
No.
My plan was to do this, and then I the hurricane, and then I was like, I'll have time to finish it. I'll do it, like, even if I had done it last night or yesterday or something, but I couldn't. We're tired. We're just really tired. Yeah. We're exhausted. I don't know why that is exactly still. It's been several days, but I just didn't knit much the last few days, because this is definitely
your arm was sore too, right?
Yeah, I get a kink right in here.
Yeah.
From too much knitting. Like, it's a knot. And it was getting pretty painful, so I had to slow down a bit. I overdid it on the Ahava.
So that's for those that didn't watch last episode. That's one ball of the Lopi, the Heatherdale
Lopi, which we still have a few balls up listed. We just actually finished off some more today, so that's been sort of relisted.
Another batch.
Yeah. So what I decided my nerves could handle through all of that, weather anticipation, was working on my Virgo, which I really was supposed to be, oh Lord, did I stop mid-row and bring this out here? Oh, good grief. Yes, I did, because I made a mistake at knit night and I haven't fixed it yet. I'm just not up for difficult times right now, so this is still sitting here waiting for me to do whatever mess I made on knit night. Anyway, it was nothing. It was like to here. Because I just wasn't working on it on knit night. And actually, these eyelets, I'm not sure they're a knit night thing. Clearly, I have something to fix now. So this is not the knit night project I thought it was going to be. But I got a lot done. And I'm also going to love this.
Yeah.
And I have this completely memorized now, so I don't need any markers or a pattern or anything. So that was kind of soothing for me until I screwed it up at knit night, which was Monday, and I haven't knit since then because I have this little bit to fix.
Which is not really a surprise. No, even Jennifer Hicks had to rip out her knitting last time.
Knit night is hopeless. It's but the food was good, so no one's complaining. So I'm about a third of the way through this now, I think, and it's good fun. And of course, I'm alternating. Ugh, there's stuff stuck to everything. And I just have a little fix. I'll probably do that when I go in tonight, and I can do it while I'm watching TV. Unless there's an exciting part.
Yes.
And then,
on the show. And what are you watching now?
Oh, I'm watching Big Little Lies.
Yeah, I want to see that, I think.
I'm into it big time. Yeah. It's very short. There's only 14 episodes altogether. So
okay.
You gotta pace yourself or you run out really fast.
No binge watching then.
So you're kind of knitting along and it's okay, and then you're like, what? And then you have to stop. So I don't want to say... I definitely should have the hat done next time, but I don't know what else.
Yeah.
I do have to slow down because of my arm.
Right. But the hat
feels good now.
Yeah.
But the heavier the yarn, the worse it is. So that's why I decided to do the Virgo, because the lace is easy.
So the next thing on the agenda is to talk about Open Farm Day.
Right.
So we mentioned that in the last episode, but it is actually coming on Sunday.
Right.
So we've got tons of preparation still to do. So we're doing little tours, and we just got a note from the vet college that they want to send a group here too to talk to us.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah.
We're apparently part of an assignment that the class is doing.
Yes.
We had no idea.
Yeah. So it sounds like it's going to be exciting. We have lots of help coming
thank goodness,
to the farm, and this is the first time that we've done it, so we'll see how that goes.
And what do we have? What's it called? A portable what? What's it called?
Oh yes, this is really funny. We don't have a public washroom in our in our shop.
Yeah.
So we had to make, we don't want people going into our house to use the bathroom if they get short taken here. Luckily there's a garage fairly close, but we decided we would get what I was calling a porta potty or a Johnny on the spot. Those were names that, you know what I mean, I'm sure.
Or maybe a chemical toilet.
A chemical toilet, whatever, something a freestanding bathroom. Toilet, right. So, you know,
people take their business so seriously.
Yes, people take their businesses very seriously, and rightly so. I phoned and said, "Can I get a porta potty?" He said, "You mean I forgot. What did he call it? Portable restroom?
Portable restroom.
Yeah, portable restroom.
If you're resting in one of those, you're really hard up.
Yeah. Like, yes, I guess so. Is that the new term that we're using for it? Portable restroom? He goes, yes, that's it. I said, not a porta potty? He said, no, that's a brand name.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's a brand name.
Oh, so it's obviously not a porta potty or a Johnny on the spot.
Which is, yes, I think that's also.
Those are both brand names.
Yes.
I getcha. It's like Kleenex.
Right. So it's a portable restroom. Very cool, though. They deliver it. And we'll put it behind.
You're really building this up.
Yeah.
This is just going to be a great day. We've covered what the toilet situation's going to be.
Well, it is blueberry season around here.
You cannot. No. I'm taking that out.
I'm taking it out.
No. People think I'm the sassy one. For real? Oh my god.
I don't want to deal with it. We're a big hub for blueberries.
I don't know if you're seeing this or not. That's
all right. Moving on.
TBD. Okay,
that's their problem.
Okay.
Anyhow,
we're well prepared.
Portable restroom. A good thing it's after the hurricane, because I wouldn't want a portable restroom.
No, that would be a disaster. Come pick it up right now.
Yeah.
Oh,
before Dorian.
You really cannot be here fast enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, good.
Anyway, all that to say is
come to Open Farm Day. Great. We got you covered. Oh my Lord.
Okay. All right. So Open Farm Day on Sunday.
Okay.
Okay.
Shop update. Yeah, you're getting punished. Okay.
So shop update.
New stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. We added to our ChiaoGoo fixed circular collection the 16-inch cable
for hats.
Yeah. Or larger
fixed circular. I'm still crying over
it's very good. I can't believe it. So these are, we love not to do magic loop and just knit in your circle. Yeah. So we have a larger circle because we've always had the 9 and the 12-inch and rounds, and now we have the 16-inch. We didn't get them in every single size, but we did get them in the larger sort of hat sizes, and we will get them all in eventually. So those are up for sale, and we've restocked the 9-inch and the 12-inch circulars as well in ChiaoGoo.
So we should say that we really, that we're fans of ChiaoGoo, so we're not fooling anybody, but we want to really carry everything that they make. Eventually we will carry everything, but we're starting to stock up. So we want to be a destination for ChiaoGoo.
Yeah,
because there's lots of people that are carrying like bits and pieces, but we want to try to get as much of a full inventory. And to that, we brought in the mini set.
Mini.
Yeah, so
this is another, to qualify that statement, mini, meaning very mini.
Yes, so from 000, if you're in US sizes, it's like a darning needle. Yeah. All the way up to 1.5, what is that?
And they're strong.
Read it. Yeah, I can't read it.
1.5 US, 2.5 millimeter is the largest size. Is that it?
2.5?
Yeah.
Millimeters.
Yeah.
to 1.5 to 2.5.
5 millimeters.
Yeah. Or a triple
000
US.
to a 1.5.
A 1.5 US. So the kit comes with.
Look at how tiny the little join, like crazy.
I know they're amazing.
So good.
Yeah. So you have the little. Well, we'll just show a picture of everything. You've got a little accessory kit that comes with it.
As always.
You've got the mini cables, and you've got the
sizer that goes right down to 000.
Yeah. So I actually had to look up on the websites to see what you would actually knit with this size needle, the 000 1.5
well,
millimeter.
you knit yourself a stroke.
Yeah, yeah. But you know what a lot of the patterns are? Obviously doll clothes and things like that, but a lot of the vintage patterns, those women in the 60s and 50s and 30s were like really, what were they thinking? So I can't imagine how beautiful the fabric it would be. Right. Like obviously like machine knitting.
Yes, to say the least. So if you're a vintage knitter, you might want these.
Yeah. So we have a couple of these because I'm not sure what the demand will be, but we can get more if they're selling. So if you're looking for this set and you don't know where to find it,
we have it.
We have it in stock.
I just love the stuff. Like I would never need this, but I still I covet it.
Yeah, they really do a good job.
I covet the kits.
Yeah.
I really can't justify. I'm always like, well, we're taking one of those for ourselves, but
I just think it's the quality of those joins and at every size, you know, it's really
amazing.
Something.
Okay,
so that's
good.
Great. And then we also we found a woman in Firefly Notes in BC, so British Columbia. It's a Canadian product, and we were introduced to this product from the US, from a company in the US that was carrying it. And when I got we ordered some the stitch markers in the little tins that we showed before. And then when I got them, I turned it over, and they were actually made in Canada. So I said, well, okay, I'm not going to order them from California to buy something that's made in Canada. So I was absolutely delighted. There's tens of different designs. Yeah. So what are we going to do? We'll show a couple of them.
You probably won't be able to see them, so I'll put up pictures. But we have lovely oak limb with acorns. A pear, because I pretended the lemon was a pear, but I really wanted a pear. Little cakes.
We just have one of those though.
Pastries.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're a baker and a knitter.
Robins and an alphabet. That's must be like a vintage pattern.
Yeah, most of them are vintage, I think.
Apples.
Yeah.
Based on vintage fabrics, would it be?
I don't know.
An orange.
Yeah.
And a pineapple, which is my spirit fruit.
Yes. What did they say? Wear your crown? What is the pineapple, the saying about it?
I don't know, but I like it.
Yeah. It says,
what is it?
It's like, hold your head up and wear a crown or something.
The pineapple, it's my spirit fruit.
Yeah.
I love pineapples. I don't actually like eating them. I love looking at them.
Oh, I love pineapple.
The hair gets irritating.
No.
Something.
Yeah.
I'm like that with kiwis too. I don't know. I don't like fuzzy fruit. I can't eat a peach. I like a nectarine.
Yeah.
But I love the pineapples.
I'll have to look at that saying for you.
Yeah.
And the bees.
Oh, and the bees. How cute are these?
Yeah, little round ones.
Bees. And they all have 10 opening stitch markers in them.
Yeah.
All these ones. So I'll list all of these. They're just like adorable.
I know.
I really like these. And little round things.
Yeah.
So
I think
cute.
do we have a couple other ones?
Well, this is good for this week.
Yeah.
I don't know if we do.
So that's great, and they're made by
made in Canada.
Made in Canada, a woman that started.
We put the stitch markers in with our own little hands.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's great.
Okay.
So we just love them. And I wanted to show the Trondheim kit because we made for the Trondheim mittens. So I know that this has been a lot, like we've had this for quite a long time, but we're in and out of stock of them. And so we do have them available now. So a great opportunity to get just the right amount of yarn to do that project.
Yeah. And let's talk about Clothespin Gate.
Oh yes, but before that, we also have expanded our inventory on Kidsilk Haze by Rowan.
We got new colors.
Yeah.
So we'll list all of these, and some of them are stunning. I won't bother to grab them all right now. But these are a sample of some of the newer ones.
Yeah.
So we're just trying, again, we're going to try to carry all the colors in this eventually, but we can only buy so much at a time. We have a small purchasing budget, if you will. But these are lovely, so you can add these to any of our yarns, double-stranded, and it makes the project super delicious.
Yeah.
So we'll put those up.
Okay. Yeah. Great. So that's the shop update.
Right. But the clothespin situation.
Yes.
So we broke Sandra's bandsaw with our clothespin orders. And we had no worries. She said she had made lots. I don't think she quite understood what lots meant, because I feel like we probably could have sold 100 dozen. So I had to take them down because right now she's waiting for her new bandsaw to arrive, and I don't want people to be disappointed at the amount of time it takes us to deliver them. It's a bit of a catch-22. They will be going back up. For those of you who already ordered them and haven't gotten them yet, it's possible you will hear from us saying, you know, still no bandsaw. We're going to miss the 2-week delivery deadline. We'll ship them to you separately, or if you want to wait for your order, that's totally going to be up to you, and we'll pay the additional shipping cost of sending them separately. It's just one of those things. Yeah. And hopefully she's not too stressed out, but she got to order a fancy new bandsaw. Yeah. It looks spectacular.
Yeah, as far as bandsaws go.
And that is just such the luck when you're an entrepreneur. You know, like that is just, she wrote, she's like, good grief. You know, my bandsaw gave up, and we were like, of course it did.
Yeah.
Because that's what the universe does to small businesses when they're on a podcast and all of a sudden everybody wants pins. But and a lot of people have mentioned them as potential Christmas gifts. We're going to get it all sorted out in the next 2 weeks. Yeah. We'll have lots of pins.
She's still making them. She just has a technical difficulty.
Yeah, it's just such a nightmare though, because people are coming to the store now like, I came for the pins, and we're like, wah, wah. Yeah. We don't have. Because a lot of people, when they come to the island, they come to us for the pins because they know we have them. And I mean, it's not like they're in every store. So that was too bad. And we're really sorry that it's causing a bit of a delay, but it was an equipment malfunction.
Yes. So
the bandsaw is really like out at the dump right now. It really gave up.
So as soon as we have further word on that, we'll be letting the people know that ordered them, and then we will, as soon as they're available, we'll put it back up. We'll put them back up.
Yeah, and we'll get lots.
We'll get lots, and we'll tell her how many.
How much lots is?
Yeah. Okay.
When we say lots, we mean lots.
Yeah. So now we're already up to Ask Us Anything. Okay. And a lot of the questions were about the hurricane, so we've covered all of that. Right. But there was a specific question. And as everybody knows, I do the podcast without my glasses on, and I wrote down the name of the person that...
Yummy Girl.
Yummy Girl.
Or Yummy Girl. Yeah.
Yeah, Yummy Girl. Okay. Asked a question about how did we convince our husbands to move here, and where did they acquire their farming expertise?
Here.
Yeah.
Google.
Yeah, exactly. Just like us.
Google books, different courses and seminars. Learned a lot from vets.
Yeah.
That come, and we did work with the vet college on quite a few little projects, vet students. You learn through experience. Yes. Unfortunately. Yeah.
And they didn't go to the Modern Shepherd class like we did.
Right.
But we work together, so we share the knowledge. What is it? Train the trainer or whatever.
Yeah. And you'd be surprised, I guess, if you're not on farming. Like, there's farming celebrities, YouTube videos you can watch about people who do things the way you want to do them.
Yeah. There's some great books available too, like the stories books.
Yeah, on keeping sheep.
Not a story book, but
story publishing.
Publishing.
There's a lot of farm care, animal husbandry books that are excellent. And we really use those a lot, actually. Yeah. And but a big thing, with livestock is always health, and we really have learned a lot from the vets that we work with. Yeah, like, that's probably some of the best source of information, really. Right. And it's not like if you're a small animal person, you would have no idea, because we didn't. But it's not like a small animal vet where you take the cat in and they won't give you advice over the phone. Large animal vets want you to be independent. Yeah. Because they don't want to get up in the middle of the night. They're very busy. They travel to every call. Every call is a house call. Yeah. What is this? They come to the farm? Well, of course they do. It's a dairy cow. Yeah. You're not dragging it into town. Yeah. But that was all kind of news to us.
Yeah.
We
and then
know.
you learn to do the medical procedures.
Yeah,
and
like
that
shots
shows you,
and stuff. Yeah.
So
nothing too serious,
No,
but certainly we turn lambs and pull lambs and deal with breech births ourselves and things like that.
Right.
I mean, if you called a vet around here for every breech birth, you would not be very popular.
No.
So you need to be kind of more self-sufficient than I think most people would
And
think.
they have the large animal vets have like a wide territory that they have to cover. So, you know, there are things that that are possible for the farmer to learn. They want to teach them because there are things that you absolutely need a vet to do.
Yeah, and we want them to be available for those things.
Yeah, and they do need to sleep once in a while.
Yeah.
I don't think our vets
so
sleep. They really, it's really a tough job.
Yeah, it's a very tough job.
Yeah.
And you would have met our vet, Kim, in our second episode. We interviewed her.
Yeah.
So
so if you want to see her.
she's more than happy not to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning if we can do little things that we've learned from her on our own, I think. And I'm sure she would agree with that.
Yeah.
And literally, it's really important that, they're rested up for when there's a real emergency that an average person cannot handle. And we've had a few of those.
Yeah.
Really difficult bursts. Like, you don't want to take up their time with something trivial when you can have, we need to be available for serious emergencies.
Yeah.
So we
and
try
every
not
now
to
and
call
then
if
you
don't
have some kind of it's usually for the mums it's when they're lambing. For the lambs, they can get sick, and sometimes you just can't figure out what it is. Like we do a certain procedure, take the temperature, do checks on different things that we can check and kind of diagnose ourselves. But sometimes something's happening that we can't diagnose, so then you have to.
If it's something that needs listening to their heart or lungs, we could probably get a little somewhere with that, but we call them anything internal like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Internal medicine.
We
don't go in.
Right. So all of that learning just happened, and we're 7 years in now, so we have experience. Like you start to.
And other farmers will share knowledge if it comes up, or if you think, wait a second, I heard about this before.
Right.
You can call someone, but there's no limit to weird things that can happen with your livestock for sure. So vets have seen it all. Well, almost.
Yes.
Yeah, not always.
So that's.
So we learned on the job.
Yeah. On the job training.
Yeah.
So, there's lots of resources.
We're very curious people, and sort of lifelong learner attitude, and it's not been a chore.
No?
We're very curious people.
Yeah.
So that's good.
We
you
do
have to
a
be
lot of
curious
research.
and inquisitive and want to accumulate a body of knowledge. Like, you have to have sort of the desire to really want to become an expert. Helps you.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think that's it.
Okay, except that we just remind everybody we have a Ravelry group if you want to join.
Yeah,
we do chat in there.
Yeah, we chat in there. I answer. There's some great projects being shown in there.
Got it. If you haven't looked at the project thread, you got to go in and see the project thread.
Yeah, somebody else is doing a Joe Bad's arm.
Oh, can you imagine what luck? That's amazing.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Beautiful.
She's doing hers a lot faster than I'm doing.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Whoops.
Oh, and the other thing, so I made another mistake. I made a lot of mistakes. I have a lot to atone for this episode.
Yes.
So the fleece, I said that the champion was
in the last episode.
No, what did I say? No, North Country Cheviot. That was actually the reserve champion. I went to look at the pictures and they both looked identical. Glasses. And so I thought I had two of the same fleece and that I picked the one with the biggest bow on it, but that was actually the reserve champion, and the champion was actually a Border Leicester, which is a breed we love, and it belonged to Shirley, whose name I'll put below. Sorry, Shirley. Shirley won the fleece sale at the Tatamagouche wool stock.
Yeah. Was it a blue face Leicester?
At least to correct it. Yeah, because of course it would be the poor person who won all excited and watching and like, hold on now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and Ruth Mathewson was the reserve champion owner, that North Country Cheviot.
Who we know personally, so that's why.
So congratulations, Ruth. Congratulations, Shirley.
Yes.
Both
Good job,
jobs
Shirley.
well done.
Yeah.
And I did have a picture of both, but in my horrible eyesight, which I still refuse to wear my reading glasses at all times, I thought it was a picture of the same fleece and got completely confused. The tags were made out in pencil.
Oh.
I just couldn't read it.
Yeah. So by now viewers are watching us saying, okay, you two, The other one, the blonde one, with the short hair, can't read the notes on the thing, even though the font is literally 36, and you can't read your notes on your pictures.
We're getting old.
We're getting old. What can we say?
It's terrible. And the worst part about having glasses is you spend half your life looking for them.
Well, I don't, because I have to have them on all the time. You'll get to that stage.
People keep being like, crochet yourself. No. I'm not wearing them around my neck. No offense to anybody who does. It's very convenient. I actually really did think about it today.
Yeah.
Because I was looking for them for 20 minutes. And they were under a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Anywho, spend half my life looking for my glasses and my phone.
Yes. There you go. All right. So that's it.
Goodbye.
Yeah. So.
Oh, we didn't talk about the most important thing. We have big news.
So you're going to have to cut out all these things where we say goodbye.
No, they'll watch till the end. If they don't, they'll hear about it next time.
Okay.
We trust you guys. You're going to watch till the end, right?
Yeah.
Always watch till the end. So the Prince Edward Island Fiber Festival is going to be a thing.
Right.
So there's a fiber festival being planned, and it's not our fiber festival. It's like a general fiber festival being planned for Prince Edward Island. So that's coming up September 2020.
Yeah,
is going to be the first one, and it's
first annual,
and it's really big news. We don't know exactly what that's going to look like yet, but if you're interested in it, definitely keep watching, because we'll obviously be providing lots of updates as fiber people on the island. We're very excited about it.
Yeah.
And we have been asked our opinion about a couple things, but we're not actually planning it per se, but we're super excited about it. And a lot of people want to visit Prince Edward Island, and this is the perfect excuse to do that.
Yeah.
And I know those that are working on it are really trying to make it a really high quality festival that that Yarn and Anne of Green Gables aficionados will definitely want to put on their list.
It's very exciting.
Yeah, so that's the final weekend of September, next September.
Right.
A year from now-ish.
Yes.
A year and a week.
Yes, exactly.
Or 2 weeks.
It's very, it's going to be just fantastic. So September is really beautiful here, other than hurricanes.
Right. Hopefully there's not a hurricane during the Fiber Festival. Lord help us.
And there's other things going on the island in
Beer
September.
Fest.
There's Beer Fest. And there's fall flavors. And the weather is actually usually pretty nice.
Yeah.
And so we're really, and we're just getting into when it's going to be sweater weather.
Yeah.
It's perfect. It's perfect.
Yeah,
and
the island is a beautiful place to visit. So if you've needed one last excuse just to put you over the edge, save the date.
Yeah.
And we'll obviously be talking about it a ton more between now and then. So hopefully you watched till the end, but for those who didn't, you won't even know.
Yeah. And on that note,
so no harm, no foul.
We're going to say goodbye.
Yeah. Okay, bye everyone.
Have a great 2 weeks. Yeah. See you next time.
Okay.
Bye.